Hello, viewers. Welcome to my show in conversation with Taha. Today, I have Katerina Valkova with me. Uh, Katerina, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much, Taha. It's always my pleasure to see you and especially to be at your show.
So, viewers, Katerina's background is that she's a seasoned business consultant. Her expertise includes strategic management, event organization. She's also a co-founder of Riodefi, which is a cryptocurrency platform based out of the UK. Katrina also is an advisor to a company called Mantra DAO and Labs, which are again based out of Hong Kong and the UK. Katrina, I would want you to tell my audience that what is your background and how did you come into this space where you are right now?
Thank you so much, Taha. Well, first of all, I would like slightly correct you regarding Riodefi. We are based in Hong Kong with our headquarter, but at the same time, for sure, we have offices in few countries like Singapore, also China, and also we might have office in UK, but for now, blockchain is slightly difficult to implement in UK in the mass adoption. And yeah, concerning my background, well, I started in diplomacy. I wanted to be a diplomat. I wanted to make the world better, and I wanted to be, one of these significant people who are working in international organizations like United Nations or OECD, and improving the economy of developing countries. But
Okay.
unfortunately, I could say that Russia took Crimea in 2014, and me being Russian citizen, I couldn't proceed with international organization due to some unwritten rules or policies. I don't know. So
Okay.
I was lost. And that time I was participating in international conferences with my reports about politics and global economy, and also emerging countries' economy, like Syria, for instance. But that time I had to change the world, and there was an option to go to blockchain space because
Okay.
blockchain was quite innovative, and blockchain has the technology. Actually, it is the technology that make world, I could say, not better because it would be too optimistic, but at least more developed. It gives more opportunities to increase, let's say, to decrease poverty, but
Okay.
increase people's intelligence, and also increase their technological involvement in even in poor countries.
That's very good. That's very good. So then from diplomacy, you've come into the world of crypto. Based on that, what do you think about artificial intelligence and big data, which is kind of talk of the town now?
Well, I could say that artificial intelligence, it's mostly based on neural networks, and if you notice, like it's still like based on Python, although it was developed quite a long time ago as a language for programming. But at the same time, if you are combining blockchain with AI and blockchain with big data, here we see the results. For sure, like you are still using some kind of oracles for big data information, like there is a big name company like Oracle, but at the
Hmm.
same time, lots of let's say lots of oracles are on blockchain now, and
Okay.
people are implementing them, like Chainlink, for instance, or Kyling is promising because it makes like cross-chain implementation of Oracle. So yeah.
Okay. And can you tell our viewers more about Labs, where you are a advisor?
Sure. Labs, it's about tokenization of real estate. And what I'm fascinated about it, that people with, I don't know, like $100 can invest in real estate all over the world and actually own a piece of this real estate, a piece of resort, or whatever it is. And that's how they can own it. But at the same time, you know that real estate actually is growing. and the capitalization of real estate is growing over time. So this small amount of money can eventually become big amount of money, you know.
Okay.
And they don't need to go to the bank and to apply for, I don't know, like for getting credit for any improvements from the bank. They just
Okay.
have small money, they invest it, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. So is it like a pool where a lot of people have come on a platform and crowdfunded towards real estate or something else?
Yes, it is. It's kind of like that, but at the same time, it's mostly based on decentralized finance and
Okay.
on like it's part of Polkadot ecosystem. So it gives more possibilities for people. It gives more transparency and security for people at the same time. And
Okay.
they don't need to travel to Vietnam if they want to buy a resort there. They just like they could go on the platform and okay, like I want to invest here, and they're getting it. That's it. Simple.
Okay. And do you accept all kind of currencies, or there's a limitation on the currencies? Anything? I'm saying because the viewers who are watching, if they wanted to come on your platform and invest, they would have knowledge of what they're doing.
Sure, sure. Well, mostly it's digital currencies, like
Okay.
it's still about like cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, like ETH, like also Labs has their own token with what you can
Okay.
invest. But for sure, there
Mhm.
are some other possibilities. So it's everything is open, and if there is any big resort that would like to give a part of themselves like this way,
Okay.
or they could go to Labs and just partner with it.
Very interesting. So it could be anybody who's interested in cryptocurrencies could be investing in labs.
Yes, but actually, it's not even an investing in labs. They successfully actually finished their fundraising. They just got
Okay.
listed on a few exchanges recently, and I
Okay.
could say that they're doing quite great. They're just developing now and growing because like there are lots of good real estate all over the globe, and they're just like growing, regarding the partnerships, regarding implementations of different tech. It's really cool.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And you're an advisor at Mantra DAO, which is based in Hong Kong, I believe.
Yes, Mantra DAO is based in Hong Kong. I prefer to say that I'm contributor to Mantra DAO
Okay.
because Mantra DAO it's also one of the projects inside Riodefi ecosystem, and basically. Mantra DAO is a saving and lending platform, but at the same time, it's totally decentralized. It's with decentralized autonomous organizations. So people who are having special tokens, Mantra tokens, they could vote for whatever implementations in the project. They could stake some tokens. They could lend some tokens. They could also use different features that the project allow them to use. And we have really huge community and huge communities locally and globally. So it's really cool.
Okay. 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 And if you were to invite viewers, how would you be inviting viewers to come to Mantra DAO?
Well, I could say you're just showing them the project. You're showing them the platform, how it works.
Okay.
And I'm sure they would love it. They just go for it because we have so many supporters of Mantra DAO. It's like small, I don't know, like small global fun club, let's say like that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we already have a few real businesses that also accept OM tokens. So this is a natural token of Mantra DAO, and
Okay.
that's really cool.
Okay. Okay. So these tokens are used for fundraising?
No, these tokens are used not for fundraising. Mantra DAO also successfully finished their fundraising in August 2020,
Okay.
and basically, this token is a native token of the ecosystem. With this
Okay.
token, you can I don't know, you can use different features inside the ecosystem of Mantra DAO,
Okay.
and plus you could also vote once the voting is implemented.
Okay. Okay. That's very good. Um, So going back to artificial intelligence, do you think the world is going to be dominated by artificial intelligence in the near future?
I think there is a possibility, to be honest. I think that it might happen, it will happen, and it already happened actually. Because if you
Oh,
see, like during COVID, government successfully implemented many stuff regarding artificial intelligence. And
okay.
basically, if you look at Oracle services, Oracle as a
Mm-hmm.
company, if you look
Yeah.
at it, you can
Yeah.
understand that basically there is no freedom in the world, like no privacy as privacy should be. So it's already here. And
Okay.
especially, I think that with the growing IoT, Internet of Things,
Yeah.
uh, it's even becoming, for some people, it's becoming worse. For some people, it's becoming better. But still, all this technology, they're growing.
Interesting. And do you think, at least I would say 30 to 40% of the world is over the age of 50, 55. Do you think all these people will have to reskill themselves because, your traditional way of working, your books, your pens, your copies where you were making notes, all of that is going or already gone? So you think all of these people will have to retrain into their new jobs because old jobs are not there going to remain because of the artificial intelligence?
True, but it's already happened, and we also see that some governments they're decreasing the age of retirement. So
Okay.
people, yeah, people are going like before. People were going, getting retired at 55 years old. Regarding ladies, now it's six. Like then it was 60. Now it's about like being 65, in just on average in different countries.
Okay.
And I think that it's really difficult question, I could say. But I think that people who are more than 55 years old, if they are not adopting to the real world,
Okay.
to changing world,
Yeah.
it's quite tough for them I don't like this word, but it's quite tough for them to survive. Because if we notice that majority of people, they're living not wealthy life, they're living just like some of them even in poverty.
Yeah.
So what is going on that either your children are providing you with essential source of money or you're relying
Right.
on the government. But for sure,
Mm.
like if you're talking about well-developed countries like Germany, for instance, they
Yeah.
have some surplus in their economy. And they even had these kind of experiments when they were just like telling people, they were selecting people. There was a country, not a country, a city where they selected people. And they were
Hmm.
told like, okay, we have this kind of surplus in the economy. We are going
Yeah.
to provide you with this amount of salary. And I guess it was about 2K euro. And you're not working. You
Okay.
stop working.
Hmm.
Some people who were on this program, they were just like, okay, they got essential amount of money. And what they started to do, they started to discover some I don't know, like some things that they didn't know about themselves. Like some of them started to paint, some of them started to do some, I don't know, like shoes making or whatever it is, some creative work, while
Uh-huh.
before they were trying to survive and getting as much money as possible, being, I don't know, a banker, and they didn't like their work.
Right.
And it's like regarding AI, we see that AI is going to be implemented not only regarding security, but also in finance and in in technological segments as factories. And all these people, they should adopt somehow to the world. How to adopt? They should learn more. They should uh, definitely read more. They should
Okay.
definitely be involved in international news and see where the world is going. That's how
Right.
you could progress. Otherwise, you are digressing. So,
So that brings me to the question of, I'm sure, you're aware about what's happening with Mars and the NASA's rover on Mars. Do you think whenever given a chance, the super rich of the world will, jet off to Mars. Is that the plan? Do you think that's going to happen soon?
Well, I know about this fantastic journey to Mars that everybody on Facebook even sending the tickets that, oh, I'm going to Mars in 2029 or something like that.
Right.
But I think that nobody can predict anything. And I believe that currently the global situation is unstable,
Hmm.
economical situation, and also political situation as well, if you have a look at it, even in developed countries.
Right.
And regarding NASA, okay, they could go to Mars. But if you look back to the 60s, when people just like conquered, they thought that they started to conquer the space.
Yeah.
Lots of achievements were made, but it wasn't so fast as they planned. It wasn't so fast. And I think that this is just one more step, that's significant
Hmm.
step, but it's not going to be so fast. I still remember even 90s when people were crazy buying lands on the moon, and
Yeah.
there were lots of companies, if you remember, especially in the United States, who were selling it. But what we see now, like somebody's using it? No.
Interesting. No, that's an interesting analogy. True. Um, Now I'll come to the dark web, the dark side of internet. Because of COVID, people have realized so many things. We were talking about Internet of Things. We were talking about artificial intelligence, crypto. Then you come to the dark web. What do you think is going to happen with the dark web? Are we to go into a parallel economy where there will be no checks, no boundaries?
Well, I think that there are two ways. First of all, there is a way like, yes, dark web is going to be fully, I don't know, like chaotic, I could say. But there is a better way, even three ways, I could say. It could be fully chaotic. Second way, they are somehow cooperating between. I mean, like regarding darknet, and that would be fantastic possibility for people to, I don't know, like to develop their technology, to know more, to get more information, and to uh, be slightly more free than they are now.
Yeah.
And there is a third way that darknet is starting to cooperate somehow with the governments. And in
Yeah.
some parts, darknet is already cooperating with the governments, as I know, at least like some people from darknet, because nothing is fully decentralized for now, if you look at it. Like we have
Hmm.
decentralized finance, okay, like, but again, government is trying to regulate, and now we see lots of regulations that are coming from SEC in the United States, from I don't know, in Singapore also the regulators are quite tight. The regulation is quite tight concerning DeFi. At the same time,
Okay.
if you are looking at darknet, everybody is talking like, oh, it's so cool, like it's not under control, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
actually, it's a miracle. Like, do you think that governments who has enormous amount of money and
Mhm.
enormous resources, especially like special hacker services in government side, do you think that they cannot, how to say it, they cannot do that or this thing? Do you think that they cannot negotiate at a certain point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. So we've talked a lot about technology. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on climate change and these young activists who are around the world, the globe, doing a lot? What do you think is going to happen with climate change?
Well, I think it's going to be worse and worse. I don't like to think this way, but anyway, people are not following all the restrictions. People are not. People are simply, they either don't care or they don't believe in it. And we have these fantastic departments in the UN, but even the countries, they cannot negotiate between themselves about gas emission and about the internal policies. So we still see that the climate change it's happening now, and the scientists they're just like keep telling us about that it's happening. But if you're looking at the economic growth, it's definitely like first of all, following the restrictions, it's expensive, and
Hmm.
secondly, you can produce less.
Got it. Got it. And I assume most of your business is online. How has COVID affected your business?
I could say a lot, because like before I had lots of flights. I had a few flights during the week, and
Mhm.
sometimes, like you're just coming to the new country, you're having I don't know, conference, you're having just talk business meeting, and eventually you're flying back, and you're spending a lot of time in the airport, in the airplane, and you're constantly on move. You
Okay.
sometimes you're going to the airport, you're looking at the schedule of the flights, and you don't understand like where you are going and from where you are going.
Yeah.
So now it's completely changing. Now you're just like going online and you're telling everybody like, hello, let's
Hmm.
talk. And basically this is how it goes. It changed the world a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And it changed the world, mm, I guess, in the better way, just
Okay.
because people can economize their time. They have to follow the rules regarding online meetings,
Yeah.
even if they don't want to. But exactly this way, they could economize the time. So
So you are saying that COVID has brought the world online. Businesses are more online than they were before. So physical meetings have stopped. More online meetings are happening now. That's how COVID has changed the whole ecosystem.
definitely, yes, definitely. And for sure, like you cannot discuss everything online just because of either because you need to negotiate with someone and you need like a personal meeting, or because there is some information that is not for online. And in this case, you are still meeting. But most of the time, you can solve everything online. Just one call. That's it.
That brings me to my next question, which is because of this physical, touch, or the physical meeting part has disappeared for the last 1 year or so. What do you think has happened to networking? Because a lot of businesses depend on networking. I'm sure some of your business is, based on networking, meeting people, new businesses, and new ideas come from these meetings. How do you think that is affecting you as an individual and your business too?
Well, now we have lots of online conferences, but for sure, like you cannot network that much there. You could listen to people, you could chat, but it's not, like miracle doesn't happen when you see a person and you're just like, I want to partner with this project just because I see the team and I like them. No,
Right.
it's not the case anymore. It's now it's more difficult. Now it's more about, like, okay, like networking is not possible. For me, I'm lucky, and for my co-founders of Riodefi,
Yeah.
also, all of us, we have a big network, and we, like we are connected. We know each other quite long, and
Yeah.
sure, everybody is helping each other, like to connect with these people or giving some piece of advice, like, and that's cool. But networking is not so easy as it used to be. But in Dubai, for instance, lots of people, they're still having conferences. They started in the beginning of March, I think. So that's really cool.
Right, right. And while we are talking about conferences, tell me which is the best event that you remember you have organized in the past?
Yeah, in the past I organized many events, and most of them they were for investors and some selected projects, or let's say also funds. So I could say that one of them, the best one, was in Singapore. when
Okay.
we organized event in Fairmont Hotel. It was extremely expensive, and I remember but the class was so fantastic, and the audience
Mhm.
was amazing, and we had great projects at time.
Okay.
So people were just, everybody was coming up to me and telling me, "Oh, that's really cool, that's fantastic." But at the same time, now I'm just more involved in Riodefi, and I'm more in management of the company because we are building really great ecosystem, and
Mhm.
we are participating in events by ourselves, but not organizing events because it's not part of our business. But for sure, at every conference, I understand how it's difficult to organize everything, and I had lots of experience in my past, also regarding some conferences for global leaders when I was in my student age, I could say like that.
Right.
I was also one of the global leaders, and I was helping to organize sometimes the conferences for global leaders. And yeah, but
Brilliant.
Singapore was one of the best events.
Great to know that. And do you have any upcoming on conferences that you are organizing, or anything that you think in the near future that you will do?
I don't know. I step off of organizing conferences just because it's interesting at a certain I don't know, like at a certain period of my life. But it was interesting at a certain period of my life, and now I'm fully involved in Riodefi because
Okay.
we have everything inside our ecosystem regarding technology, regarding mass adoption of decentralized finance. So basically, with our technology, we are bridging, I could say, even centralized finance with decentralized finance. And
Okay.
this going to help lots of people, go out of poverty, I believe. With our tech, people could come to blockchain and see how it works. And it's not about, fundraising. It's not about, although I fundraised a lot for these special projects, but it's about, how people can improve their standard of living, and how people can eventually move on to the new space and get money what they deserve, and getting what they deserve concerning the services. They shouldn't go to the bank and put lots of documents in order to open a bank account. They could just go online on their cell phone and open a wallet, and eventually they will have they will have fiat currencies, so centralized finance currencies, and they will have also digital currencies, and they can
Yeah.
use all of them. They could transfer, like they don't need to go to Western Union. Like I remember when I was living in Canada, I lost my money, and my parents they they helped me a lot. They sent money via Western Union. If you remember, it was like
Okay.
one of the
Mhm.
main options to send the money. So
Correct.
I was waiting for them few days. It wasn't like or 2 days or something, or one day. I don't remember, but it was too long. And here you could have like 3 seconds and it's sent. 3 seconds.
Correct. 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 Yes. Yes.
And
Absolutely.
plus you have all the, I don't know, like so many stuff inside the ecosystem. You have different exchanges. You could work with different banks. You could work with high net worth individuals who are above 55 years old, as you mentioned, but
Right.
who are open to new technologies, and who are fascinated about it because they understand that life is moving. Like
Yeah.
you cannot like stay here and think that it will be like in the past. You should always move, otherwise you are going to be crushed by life. So it's like that.
Got
I'm
it.
sorry,
Got
I'm
it.
so fascinated about the new world, and the new things. So
Very, very interesting. Very, very insightful. Very, thank you for all your comments. Thank you for all your inputs there. And last of all, thank you for your time, for being on my show. And it was very nice speaking with you. I look forward to interview you sometime in the near future.
thank you so much, Taha. Really appreciate. And once again, I would like to thank also your audience who are watching your shows because they are fantastic. From time to time, we are watching myself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.